It's time for a special program called The 11th Hour. This weekly program will shed light on important issues in our area and the positive steps we're taking to combat them.
Good morning. You are listening to your local radio station, WMOA. Welcome to the 11th Hour, brought to you by the Washington County Behavioral Health Board. I'm Shaylee Sprigg, and my guest today is Elaine Corbit from the Family and Children First Council. Today, Elaine is joining us to update the community on the activities of the Washington County Crisis Response Team. Hey, Elaine.
Good morning, Shaylee.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Nice to be here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming, and we definitely appreciate all the work that you've been doing on the crisis response team, in addition to your position at the Family and Children First Council. So we would just love to hear more about that team and kind of from your perspective, how you've been serving the community.
All right. Well, the Washington County Crisis Response Team is a collaborative effort of volunteers with a rich diversity of personal experience and professional skills, backgrounds, and expertise available to provide supportive services to agencies, businesses, and/or individuals in Washington County who have experienced a recent suicide or sudden traumatic loss. So basically, again, we've been trained through NOVA, which is the actual National Organization of Victims Assistance, to be able to respond and help as people are trying to work through when there has been some sort of an emergency or crisis. And again, we talk about a completed suicide, either confirmed or non-confirmed, drug overdoses, and again, whether they're intentional or unintentional, fatal car or ATV accident, or even a sudden death from natural causes, and homicides.
Yeah, so it's a large variety of different types of traumatic deaths that you guys kind of support and promote individual and community healing.
Yes. And also with the natural disasters, one of the things that people are struggling with at this point in time is with our pandemic. Life as we've known it, of being able to be around people and being able to do things, we're not able to do that. And so that can create a response for people. It can create a response for jobs. Our essential workers that are having to go in, it could be a struggle for them. And there's a lot that goes along with that.
So kind of the benefit of having the team kind of address that stress, either, within the household, within a community sector, and in a business, is that the sooner that folks start expressing their concerns, their feelings, and their griefs, the sooner they are able to cope with that. And ultimately that leads to a reduction in the overall impact of the traumatic incident. Is that right?
Yes. It also helps for people to understand and be able to kind of normalize those feelings that they're having. A lot of times, we'll tell somebody, oh, it'll be okay, but they need to hear that it's all right that it's not okay right now. Sometimes it's okay to not be okay. And the fact that other people have felt that way, and that it should get better over time. We're not there to do therapy for them, again, just to be able to help normalize some of those feelings, help maybe talk about some of the other feelings and stages that they might go through, and also to help give a little bit of guidance of if it goes on too long or something, when they might decide that they need to look for help, additional help of support.
And Elaine, I know from our conversation, sometimes the team even goes as far as connecting and linking those folks that need that extra support to a treatment provider. Is that right too? Or
Yes, we bring the resources with us so they know the mental health providers that are in the area. We also look at the different groups that we have in the area that they may be able to join and participate in. Our Suicide Awareness Alliance group is one of those groups that I participate in also, that we're there to be able to help with that. So alcohol and drug recovery, we have those resources available to be able to let people know about the meetings that are there and the supports that are there for them.
And so just kind of taking a step back to when this team was formed, this all originated when the Washington County Behavioral Health Board funded for 30 community members to take the NOVA training and then become this volunteer base for this team. Now, in the last year, how many incidences has the team responded to since that has been formed?
We have so far, and most of them have been recent, responded to 4 incidences.
Do you kind of want to briefly summarize some of those experiences and how you've been able to connect with people?
Yes. We were able to respond to Waterford High School when they had a teacher who completed suicide. It was very public and very stressful with them being out of school also at the time, to be able to lean on each other. So our crisis response team went, and we do what we call a group crisis intervention if that's something they want, or we can be there just to talk to them one-on-one. We also had the Hope and Loss team that came with us, and they are there again for one's family members of ones who have completed suicide and friends and things. Yeah, Warren High School had a teacher who died suddenly, so that, again, we're there for the students and for the teachers and staff. With Marietta College, again, getting ready to come back to school and everything with the pandemic, just to be able to help them be able to process some of that. And then we are scheduled to go and help in Newport. They've actually had about 6 things that have happened. They've had natural deaths. They've had motor vehicle accident. They've had a murder and a completed suicide, all just within the past about month or so.
Yeah, that's all happened in the past about week, actually. So they've just been hit pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Now, can you describe some of the things that you talk about in the group counseling intervention sessions?
What we're talking about is, one, we're giving people a chance to express how they feel. And those feelings can range from anger, frustration, fear. We also talk to them, and again, it is not a therapy. We also let them talk about, we have a set of questions that we go through with them. We talk about how they think things might be in the future. And as I said, we talk about kind of some of those natural feelings that they may have and go through, and then going over into kind of in the future and looking towards the future.
So the team is just a magnitude of skills and professions and backgrounds and expertise available to support any and all types of tragedy or trauma. We have folks from the fire department. We have folks from our counseling. We have therapists from our schools. We have all levels of community members involved. So we have kind of something for everybody, no matter what the tragedy is. In order to activate that team, we actually have a crisis response team phone number, and you're welcome to call that. It's 740-525-3092. And all you have to do is call in with a brief description of the incident and a little bit of a formulated plan on where we can get together to start meeting with folks and about how many people you think are going to come, so that way we can have the proper supports in place to meet that need.
Daily, we've also put together a presentation. So we have presented to like the Rotary Club and things like that, to where we can come and kind of present what our crisis response team is and answer questions for them. It's just a short little presentation, and anyone who's interested in that could also call that number and see about getting one of us scheduled to come and present.
Yes, we would love to provide more information. You can also call the Washington County Behavioral Health Board with any questions or requests for information. I'm Shaylee. You can call and ask me. My office number is 740-374-6990, and I'm extension 3404. So, Elaine, I just wanted to thank you again for your time today. And of course, the community thanks you for everything that you do for the Washington County Crisis Response Team and all the people that you've been able to impact and support through this kind of crazy, hectic summer that we've had through the pandemic. I know things have been very challenging for so many people, and we definitely need all the support we can get in these unprecedented times. So we really thank you for that.
Thank you, Shaylee. We appreciate you also.
Thank you. So for more information and resources on substance use or mental health, please visit our website at wcbhb.org or visit the Recovery is Beautiful Facebook page. Thank you for listening to WMOA in the 11th Hour, brought to you by the Washington County Behavioral Health Board.
Thanks for listening to the 11th Hour, a service of the Washington County Board of Behavioral Health. Tune in next Friday at 11:05 a.m. right here on WMOA for another edition of the 11th Hour.